white chocolate raspberry cheesecake.
Ooh.
Now they should be able to hear us.
Yay!
Yay! Can you
Is the
all hear
moving
us
thing
now?
on OBS
Yay.
on OBS moving now?
The moving things on OBS are moving now.
There it is. Hello, there's Marty's voice again. There we go.
Hello.
There we go. Yep, now they can hear us.
Yeah, I'll first I'll blame that on running Windows updates before a show again. Partly because I don't ever shut my computer down, so before a show is when I always redo my reboots. So that's when the updates are installed. And two, that means we don't have pre-show audio because we recorded 45 minutes of silence apparently.
And where's that sound? Where's that sound? Boom, boom, boom.
It happens, Jesse. It's totally fine.
Yes. And with that, let's go ahead and get this show off.
7 minutes into the stream, and we're finally starting this thing.
Here we go. 3, 2. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 385, recorded on July 28th, 2022. On tonight's episode, we welcome back Marty. Welcome back, Marty, and talk about the Wave 2 announcement for Mario Kart 8, the latest update for Nintendo Switch Sports, and our favorite multiplayer games on the Switch. Jesse, you know what to do. And you know what that sound means. That means we are off to another episode of the Nintendo Dads. Today's episode 385, as I mentioned, and we welcome back two members back to the show. Justin's still off trying to negotiate things with Nintendo, but we'll get back to you on that. But welcome back, Marty. How's it going? Welcome back.
It is. It's going good. We were talking before the show. I think it's been 5 weeks since I've been on the show, maybe 4. For all things,
too long, sir. Too long.
I agree, and I would like to say that reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. It started off with a couple of work-related obligations that turned into COVID, that turned into asthma and breathing issues that I've had my entire life, aggravated by COVID. So the last 2 weeks have not been fun. But here I am, and I'm back. I'm back at work. I'm back in the saddle. I'm actually sleeping through the night and not coughing and waking myself up. That's great.
Yes,
it is a bonus, but that's been like 2 nights in a row. So
yes,
it's been a crazy
summer.
Yeah, it is. And here's the thing: summer's usually crazy. But like now, you can just see I'm having episodes like that where it's like I'm talking and then I just lose words. So that's fun.
We'll get you back on track.
3 times through COVID, I don't recommend. 0 out of 10 would not get infected again.
We're not trying to fill the COVID bingo card here. So, but speaking of crazy, Jesse, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I was late getting things started on my end as well because I normally try to start this call for a show around 8:30, and I'm revamping a story from pre-show that no one's ever going to hear, so I'll tell it now. So around 7 o'clock, we wanted to make one of those HelloFresh dinners that they say should take 30 minutes to make, and I just apparently suck in the kitchen. Well, in my taste living room, because I still don't have a kitchen yet, but it normally takes me 60 to 90 minutes to make dinner, and so I'm sitting down with a plate of food at the time I normally start the Zoom call. So, and I'm like trying to eat real fast, and I'm like, this doesn't even taste good. I don't like this one. I've never had a problem with HelloFresh meals before. This is the first one that I legitimately didn't really like.
This is the one that's going to be stricken off the list.
I'm not going to say which flavor it is, but yeah, I'm going to try to not get this one again.
Right. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. It is not.
We did some every plate meals not long ago, like back in December. Same concept. We got like a weird deal on them. Like my sister-in-law was using them, and we could get like 9 meals for $10 or something like that, or 12 meals for $10. And we tried them, and they were surprisingly good. It's time saving and everything. It's just then the price went up, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Right.
I can pay grocery store prices and eat cheaper than this.
Right.
What we decided, though, that was for 4 people. What we've decided, though, is that when our kids are done growing up and they're out of the house, that might be an option for us. So, HelloFresh, Every Plate, if you're out there listening and you'd like to sponsor the Nintendo Dads podcast and send me meals that I will review, then yes, I'm on board.
There we go.
Yeah. We normally do meal for 4, even though it's only 3 of us, because while I was keto, I'm taking a week off of keto. But while I'm keto, I can only eat like half of the plate anyway, so I'll still eat like twice of the protein portions and none of the carbs. So with 3 people, cooking for 4 works fine. So whenever Matthew ever moves out again, we are going to drop it down to two meals.
I'm gonna say
2 people per meal.
Ours, one of the menu selections was pork burgers. So it was like a hamburger, but it was made out of pork.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was really good.
They do have some really good dishes, and just
I was impressed. We just can't afford it right now.
For us, it's that, and plus the prep time took too much time in between all the other hustle and bustle of it every day. But
there's so much chopping.
Yes, we don't want to traumatize you anymore, Jesse. So, but we're not sponsored by those guys. We are sponsored by Gooder and Manscaped, but we'll talk about them later. But first, let's jump into the news. And as always, our news is brought to you by patreon.com/NintendoDads, which is you guys out there who subscribe to us, such as our newest Patreon, Hoots, who's been following us since 2020 and just recently subscribed.
Who?
Hoots.
Who?
Hoots.
Hoots.
Thanks, Hoots, and thanks to all our Patreons for subscribing to us for $1, $5, $10, $30, $100, whatever amounts we have going on. Thank you very much for subscribing to us, and also for keeping our lights on. Thank you very much. So, and with that, this gets us into the news, which the first order of business is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. Wave 2 was announced and will be released August 4th.
Finally.
Now, before I get into what courses are there, I don't even want to bother, because I think there's a couple courses, Marty, that you're like, that's it. That's all I needed the DLC for.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I don't need any more. After this one, they can do they can do whatever they want to do with the other 4. I don't give a rip. They can they can make the next pack can have a course where you play on top of a Game Boy. I don't care. They have given me the only 2 courses that actually, let me take that back. There's one more. And with these being in here, I know it's coming.
Okay. So what are these ones that you are happy about?
Okay. So Waluigi Pinball, which is arguably one of the greatest Mario Kart courses of all time, is in the Turnip Cup.
Definitely awesome.
And then they hit us.
That's the DS one, by the way.
Yes, so good. I'm so glad it's not going to be buried. And then they hit us with the Mushroom Gorge from the Wii.
Yes.
And that's it. We're done. I don't even need new characters.
That's for, let's see, the DS Waluigi Pinball is in the Turnip Cup, along with the Tour New York Minute, the SNES Mario Circuit 3, N64 Calamari Desert. And then your Wii Mushroom Gorge is in the Propeller Cup with the Tour Sydney Spirit, the GBA Snowland, and the Sky High Sunday, which is a new course, which gave me lots of Wreck-It Ralph.
Why are the Yoshi courses always food related? Have you noticed that?
It's either going to be Yoshi or it's going to be Kirby, right? Especially with Kirby coming up.
It could have been Kirby. I do want to say that it's next week, right?
Yes.
It's coming next Thursday. So I want to say I am definitely on board with this being the way they announce these, because from the initial announcement to Wave 1 actual release was so long. It was such a long wait.
That's right. It was
like, hey, it's out next week. I am on board with that. Do it all the way through the end of 2023. Wait until it's ready, then announce it. But the other thing I want to mention is that we're already seeing a pattern here with these, that each cup will open with a tour track from Mario Kart Tour, and the last cup will have a brand new track, just like the Ninja track in the first pack.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't realize there was a new course in the first pack.
There were 2 tours, right? Am I wrong?
Yep. I believe it was 2 tours.
Well,
we could look side by side, but
there was Paris and Tokyo. Paris and Tokyo in the first pack.
Yes.
So now we're getting New York and Sydney, and we're getting Sky High Sunday, which I think it's cool that we're going to get one track each pack that's brand new that we've never seen before.
I think that's awesome. Yeah. I like the creativeness. Now,
and then
we've complained about this before, but it would be nice if they had a new character or a new car to go with.
I'd be okay with that.
But they don't.
But Tim, this pack is just for tracks.
Yes.
The new character pack comes after this in 2024, okay. So they don't ever have to make a new Mario Kart.
That makes sense.
So that's when they'll release Mario Kart 8 Super Ultimate for the Switch successor.
It's going to be called
all the DLC of Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, it's going to be called Mario Kart 8 Deluxe plus Knuckles.
All right. So, Marty, so that everybody knows, which one are you waiting for them to announce?
Oh, that's
the last one that's not in here. Which one are you waiting for?
It's the Donkey Kong one from Mario Kart Double Dash, where they shoot you out of a cannon. I think it's DK Mountain. Like you drive up and you go inside the big DK barrel and it blows you out, and on top
of that also in the Wii?
I think so, yeah.
Because I remember that
in the Wii.
Okay, because I remember I played the Wii is the last one I really played that I liked. I haven't liked any other ones before or after, but I do remember that one, and I did like.
Yes, it was on GameCube and it was on the Wii. That is a superior track. I need that one. Injected directly into my veins.
Just because of that, it probably won't be released until pack 8.
It'll be like
November of next year.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. Until then, you'll find me in Waluigi Pinball.
The one I'm looking forward to that I believe was also in Double Dash is the Wario one with the giant ball in the middle.
Oh yeah, and you do the big, like you spiral around.
Yes, that's the one I'm waiting for.
That one is so good too.
That was one of my favorites in that. Because I don't think that one's in this one.
Can I tell you what a big hope of mine is too? Honestly, is that we get one of the Bowser's castles from the Super Nintendo. And I don't know why. It's just that it's flat and like it's I just love the way
with the lava and stuff.
I loved them back in the day. I hope we get that one.
That would be cool. And see how it comes out on the with updated graphics and stuff. That would be awesome.
I'm totally unfamiliar with the Game Boy Advance Mario Kart because I played it and I hated it because I thought the control was garbage. And so
it was still a 2D game that tried to do faux mode 7 and it didn't look good.
Yeah, it messed with my head. So I want to experience some more of those tracks, but like that, if they leave more of those out, I'm okay with that.
Well, we got one of those this time, and then didn't get one the other time.
I'm okay.
We also got it. The first wave, we got Sky Garden from the GBA.
And that one is one of my favorites because of the way that those clouds move on that track. So cool looking. And this one looks good too. And snow levels in Mario Kart are always good because the music is always a bop. It's good.
And actually Ninja Hideaway says it's from Tour and not a new course.
Yeah, but I don't. Here's the thing. It says it's from Tour, but then when you boot it up in the game, it doesn't say it's from anything.
Okay.
So there's been a debate about
It's new to me because I don't play the Tour game.
What did you call it? Ninja Hideaway?
Ninja Hideaway, yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna
thought
look it
that
up.
was also from Tour.
Yeah, it does say on the website for Wave 1, it shows it's from
It
Tour.
is. It was in the Ninja Tour. So this is a brand new track.
So yeah, the
We're
Sky
actually
High
getting
Sunday
a
is
brand
a
new
one.
track.
Yep.
I do think, and I don't want to be super negative, but I want to say this. I thought the Sky High Sunday track was okay. It looked a little bland.
I'm reserving opinion until I get actually try it out.
Yeah, until I see it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying what they showed off about it, like it just didn't like go.
It didn't like make you all excited about it.
That's the one that I want to play the most. Right.
Yes. Let's see. Our chat is saying, let's see. 1080 Mario Karting, Toon Link Outset Island Track. I'm waiting on DK Summit, great course. That's what Acid TK03 said. Mecha Dragon says we might get a new Rainbow Road at the end of the DLC. It was Super Mario Kart 2. Acid TK says DK Summit reminds me of Snowboard Kids course.
I just love that part where you hit the mountain and like now you're driving back down it. It's just it was so different. So
yeah. So yep, it's a lot of stuff to get excited about, and I'm sure we'll be doing stuff in the community about it. Even more, I'm guessing that the Dads After Dark show with their monthly mayhem will probably do something around this as well.
We need like a weekend, a Mario Kart weekend.
Yes,
I'll be all about that.
We could certainly do that, or we can even fire it up before a show too, before a Thursday night show too,
if it's out.
If it's out. Yeah, well, if it's not out by next Thursday, maybe the following Thursday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure something out between us and the other dads.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll launch either around noon or around 7.
right before. All right, and I actually don't remember when it launched the last time around. We'll have to look and see what time it finally.
I want to say
launched.
that like it updated and like people were trying to get in and trying to get in and trying to get in, and it was like around 5 Central Time or 7.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of updates, we'll move on to the next update. The Nintendo Switch Sports was updated with new features. In 4-on-4 and 1-on-1 soccer matches, you'll be able to use a Joy-Con controller and leg strap accessory. Included in the physical version of the game if you go buy that, and also available to purchase separately in the My Nintendo store and at select retailers. I also believe you can use the same one that you got with Ring Fit, correct?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's the same
thing, right? Okay, so you have those options, and I'm sure other options are out there that we're not aware of, like on Amazon or something. The game will transform your movements into in-game actions. You can also move your hands just like you're jogging in place to dash in the game. And when you play this way, your in-game kicks will be more powerful. So I know there's a lot of listeners out there who are into the soccer matches and stuff like that, and will probably would like to know that. There's also fancy new moves for volleyball, a slide attack and a rocket serve. So check those out. And then you can play online in the Pro League with the addition of the new S rank and infinite rank, I guess. You can easily join friend matches using room IDs. And then, of course,
that's the part of this I'm most excited about, honestly.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. So I haven't played any of this yet. Marty, I know you have. Jesse,
I downloaded it and booted it up just to see what the changes were.
Okay.
Because, they were like, here's some stuff for soccer and here's some stuff for bowling or volleyball. And then there'll be some more stuff, but we'll explain it when it drops.
Yes.
And so what I was hoping for was that they would implement a store system for buying items with your points instead of random,
Okay.
Like I had to just quit because I was stressing out over that game. I have not, and honestly, I haven't played it in about a month or two.
Right.
I was stressing out so much about the individual like collections. Like, oh, I've got to spend this much time every day bowling so that I can get this many points so that I can finish this collection because a new one comes up every Thursday.
Okay.
And so finally I was just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm done. I'll just miss it.
Yeah, take
that's
yourself
why I
out
stopped
of
playing MMOs, because they just felt like a second job.
Yep.
Gotcha.
When it stopped being fun and it felt like a chore, I decided that was enough.
Yeah, I still have the cart rented from GameFly. It never put it in my system.
It's still fun. I mean, my kids want to play it, and we'll play and we'll bowl some, or whatever at home. But it just, the luster, the shine is off of it big time for me.
Yeah, for us here, we haven't fired it up yet either. But I know there's going to be a point where one of the kids, if not both, are going to be like, "Hey, we want to play that new Switch, Nintendo Switch Sports game. Do you have it?" And just like the 1-2 Switch or whatever that is, game.
Apparently that's on sale for actually a reasonable price now, on like $50.
Is it? Okay.
I think I saw Wario post about it earlier on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, it was like out of nowhere, my kids were like, "We want to play 1-2 Switch again," or something like that. And I was like,
Hey.
"What? I sold that a long time ago. Nobody wanted to play it." So, anyways, another one that they did, that what you were alluding to, Marty, was the announcement of golf coming in the fall with their next free content update. And speaking of that, Nintendo asks, and that's Nick from our Game Pass news crew, when are we getting golf for Switch Sports? So they did say fall, but do we have any guesses / predictions on when it will actually drop in the fall? Do we think maybe a shadow drop at a direct in the fall?
I think we'll probably get like a week's notice in October.
Okay.
They'll drop a video and a tweet saying next week, just like they did with this.
So your guess is in October. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, I don't think they want to do it. I don't think they want to do it in November with other things going on. Of course, October also is already a pretty beefy month. So
pretty beefy.
But I don't think it'll be earlier than October.
Well, keep in mind, fall means September, October, November.
Well, technically, it goes from September 21st through December 20th, but people don't like that.
I know, but I'm talking about for quarterlies.
For Nintendo.
For quarterlies, it's September through October through November, because the winter quarter is December, January, February. Yep. So I really feel like end of October, like a shadow drop, like what you're saying, like it's just going to get announced like this one did. Or we get that September direct that we've typically gotten every year, September, October, and it's in there. But I don't think it's going to be another, I don't think it's going to be a lot of build up to it. I think it's just going to be like, oh yeah, hey, here's golf.
Okay. Yeah, my prediction is it will be with the fall direct, which is, like you said, Marty, September, October-ish timeframe.
At this point, they really need to do a fall direct. And I know, everybody will be like, well, Nintendo doesn't need to really do anything. But at this point, they do, because this summer has been a dumpster fire as far as the way they've released information. Like, it's like, if you don't have Twitter, you're out of the loop.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
and I don't understand that.
And I think they have to do more official announcements for their investors, because I don't think their investors would appreciate just tweets.
Yeah.
Unless there's some data behind their marketing data that suggests that it's fine what they're doing. So
it very well could. And that's a good point, Tim.
Butternog in the
we don't have
chat
access to that.
says, my kids played a bunch of Switch Sports at a sleepover last weekend. I woke up the next morning, they were still playing it. They weren't around during the Wii days. It sucked them in for real.
There it is. there's a lot of people who, that's nostalgia for us for the Wii game too. So that's why we're all about Switch Sports. So
that was 16 years ago.
I know.
Don't remind me.
We're old.
All right.
Yep.
Nintendo Switch Online app updated as well. Friend requests from your device and more. So noticeable improvements to friend request features. Users can now send friend requests using a friend code and copy a URL or use a QR code to send a friend to a friend.
Only took 5 years.
I'm pretty impressed by it, but it's also like if I guess it's like instead of having the street pass, if you happen to be around somebody and you're like, here's my picture of my friend code, take a snapshot or whatever, and of course you can send it. And then you got the copy and paste feature of the friend code as well. But I have to still try the feature where you can go in, take that code in your phone and accept the friend request and see how it shows up on my Switch. So
Yep.
Still waiting on that one. And I also noticed too that you can see the friend requests that come in within a week, I think it said. Like it doesn't always stay there, but it'll show you.
You can copy. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. You can copy your friend code as a URL. I'm gonna anyone who has this URL can send you a friend request. So
Yes.
I guess it's cool. Like you can put it out. Like we can put it out there on our Discord server. Like, hey, I don't know my friend code.
Or on Twitter.
It's kind of redundant because your friend code is right there, and you can copy it. So I don't really know why you need a URL unless you want to put it on a web page or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some use cases for it.
There's an extra step there, but you can also save it as a QR code.
Do you have a number next to your friend requests link there in the app? Like there's a number next to mine. Let's see if I can show it clearly here.
Where is?
I don't even know if I still have the app. I might have uninstalled it.
Well, I got it.
Did you have to go to your profile? Oh yeah.
So
1,
yeah,
2, 3 friend requests. I think it's just meaning that there's a number. Like you have to put a number in there.
Yeah. I was wondering if it said 1, 2, 3 for everybody, or if that was a representative.
It does. Yeah, I think it's just showing that that's a number. Like you're going to want to put a number in there.
Okay, so in that area, when I tap on that, it does say recent friend requests.
But I do have this shiny Nintendo. Look at this. I have the shiny Nintendo QR code.
That's
I can just show to people. Be like, hey, go make
that is cool, especially if you're at an event. I think that's the main part of it. Like if you're at an event,
I think that's exactly what it's for.
That way you can just show it. Somebody can scan it into their phone and then have it. So
yeah.
So that makes sense.
Notably, it's a feature that should have been there from the beginning, but it's good that it's there now.
They're learning. This is what I like. They're learning. It's taken them a long time. They're just learning. It's what I don't like is when they take 2 steps back from that step they just took forward.
Yeah.
So, all right. Last but not least in the news, and Jesse beat me to it and added it to the notes. Steve and Alex amiibo will be released on September 9th.
Yeah, they literally announced that while I was trying to eat my food.
I'm all for it. As you guys, well, you can't see it because it's dark, but I'm still collecting amiibos. I don't have them all, but I have a good amount of them.
I think I'm going to get the Steve just because it's going to be so unique.
Yes.
I mean, is it literally? It's just going to be him standing there.
Unless they have a 2-pack, maybe they'll have a 2-pack with both of them in it.
I don't think you're getting a 2-pack.
Yeah, I didn't see any announcement of a 2-pack. That would have been cool if
has there been any pre-order for them yet?
I didn't see anything other than just the announcement on the Nintendo Twitter things.
People need to keep us. Yeah.
I'm sure in our Discord, people will be throwing that up. Like it's up on Best Buy.
I need to know.
I just did a quick search on Amazon for Steve amiibo. Nothing shows up yet, but the first match it is showing me is Joker amiibo, only for the low price of $179.
Cool.
Wish I'd have got one of those.
I'll sell you mine for $150. No.
Nope.
I'm kidding.
Which, by the way, can I float this out here since we're at the end of our news?
Sure.
I may or may not be in the market to sell my amiibo collection at all. So if anybody out there is interested, almost all the Smash amiibo, lots of the special amiibo, contact me.
I'm
Give me a
sure we'll
call.
have some buyers out there for it. And
I will. I've priced them. So listen, I know what I have. Okay. So
I'll have to reach out to you too, to just make sure you don't have anything I
And
might be
unlike
missing.
half the people who use that sentence, you actually do know what you have.
I
Yes.
do know what I have.
And then before we head out of news, I wanted to add, because I didn't add it to the notes, that apparently Steam has an update that now supports the Switch Classic controllers. So the NES, the SNES,
Oh yes.
N64, and the Genesis, you can be paired to your PC to play Steam games with. I haven't tried it, but that sounds interesting.
How convenient.
Y'all, no joke. I've already gotten a text. And it was like, do you have this specific amiibo? And I was like, no, it's the one that got away. It's the one that got away.
Yep. I'm going to ask you if there's any Zelda ones, because there's a couple I'm missing. I'll see if you have them.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it post show. Let's talk about it in post show. We'll do that. All right. That's it for the news. Let's go on to our ad break. All right. As you all know, Manscaped has been a sponsor of ours for some time, and they're back again with the latest ad for us, and that is crotch discomfort hurting your game. Fear no more. The kings of crotch comfort, Manscaped, have spent 2 years designing the most comfortable boxer briefs out there. Sleek, soft, comfortable, and flexible, the brand new Boxers 2.0 from Manscaped take your balls to the royal ball throne. The global leaders in the below-the-waist grooming have the Lawnmower 4.0 as well for the trimming, so you can wear the Boxers 2.0 for the chillin'. They even trademarked the jewel pouch, so you know it's serious. I think it's time you invest in your family jewels, so let your bulge breathe and get 20% off plus free shipping by using our code NINDADS, NINDADS, at manscaped.com. Now, I didn't know they had this. I guess I haven't been paying attention enough, but I didn't know they had a new boxer brief, the 2.0 out. So I'm going to have to check those out. But the prior ones I've had, I have been comfortable. I've enjoyed those, wearing those ones. In fact, I bought another package of those. How about you guys? Have you guys picked up any of those boxer briefs?
I tried.
They're not in my size.
Yeah, I tried once. I got the largest ones that they offered, and at the time, they were not large enough. So hopefully, in a few months, I might be able to shrink down into them.
We'll have to check out the 2.0 to see if they got
the opposite of grow into them, I suppose.
Well, I found something interesting too. Is like the last set we got, same size. I got large, and they fit perfect. And then when I ordered a new pack, same size, they were smaller. Now, I'm not saying I got bigger, because I actually lost weight. So, yeah, Manscaped, I don't know what's going on there, but my son really likes them. He thinks they're really cool, and he wants some more too. So anyways, that's our experience with that. Besides the boxer briefs, we have other products from them that we are enjoying and reorder most of the time, I think, like deodorant, the ball wipes, which I use a lot. I like the individually packed ones because I can take those and, a handful of them with me if we go somewhere on vacation. They come in handy. Do you guys have any of the individually wrapped ones and use those at all?
I have not used them.
Okay. I think they came in the original package, I think, that we got too. So they gave us a package. But anyways, don't forget, get 20% off plus free shipping with our code NINDADS at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off free shipping with NINDADS, NINDADS, at manscaped.com.
I will say this. You were asking about products.
Yes.
The shampoo is still my favorite shampoo that I've ever used.
Fantastic. I agree with.
Fantastic shampoo and conditioner all in one. It is so worth it.
Are you on their subscription stuff for that? So you get it all the time, or you just order? You are? Awesome. Yeah, that's
I am.
I need to get that on so I don't have to keep worrying.
You save a few bucks and you don't even have to think about it.
Excellent. So with that, up your crotch game, because once the Boxers 2.0 touch your sack, you'll never go back. All right. that's it for those guys. Now we're going to talk about Gooder. Gooder.com was where we get our glasses from. A lot of our glasses from the show, or at least when we're outside, they offer sunglasses and they offer indoor glasses for when you're at the computer. Like my glasses here that I have on. I have those. They have the blue blockers on there that help block the dangerous blue levels that you get on some of the devices we use. And I enjoy using them. As you can see, you get a lot of glare. If you're watching live, I get a lot of glare from that, but that's doing its job. It's blocking all this stuff.
Nice ring light you got there, Tim.
Thank you very much. So you can see that in my reflection here. I also have the sunglasses, and Marty, we were just talking about another pair of sunglasses that you ordered too. That they got the new ones called the Rap G's, and I call them the Macho Man Glasses.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, they are. They're very much Macho Man Glasses. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I ordered a pair of those. I'm looking forward to getting them.
I will say though, if you're like me and you have a wide cranium, they pinch a little bit around the ears. So I'm looking for solutions. I'm looking for suggestions on how to fix that. Otherwise, they would be my favorite glasses.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure you'll get some suggestions there. Maybe even Gooder might have some suggestions there.
Would love that.
So one of the great things about Gooder is they're affordable. They don't cost, like if you go to the Sunglass Hut or something like that, they don't cost like $50 or any of those other places like that. You can get good glasses. And in fact, Marty, I know you also have mentioned this before, where although you haven't lost that many, you have lost glasses before in the past, and that's why you didn't feel bad about buying these, because then if you did lose them, you'd be right back in to buy another pair.
Yep.
They're functional as well.
Are we saying they're affordable enough to lose?
They're affordable enough to lose, but of course you haven't lost any because that's how much you care about them. They're functional and stylish as well. They have different designs. They even have limited edition ones. If you haven't seen, I think there was a Gods one, that group of glasses that you can get. Limited edition, the Glasses of the Gods is what they have them. And then limited editions, there's actually Marvel edition ones as well, which I'm hoping to be right now. I think some of them are sold out, but if they're not, there's some ones that look pretty cool. Like there's one called the Bifrost Bridge, where it's got a red frame, and then it's got of course the multiple colors going along the rim. I was like, oh man, those are awesome. That's the Love and Thunder ones. So they got a couple of those. So check them out. Again, gooder.com. Go to the top of the page, and then you can hover over the shop button. You can see all the different new things they have, all their collections. They even have shirts. They have gear. Check it out. In fact, I think there was a shot.
I was surprised to see socks on the website.
You can actually get socks with the sunglasses. So check them out. Again, affordable, functional, and stylish glasses that are, I'm not going to say cheap, but they're affordable, like I said. And plus you can use NINDADS again here at gooder.com to get a discount there as well.
They're affordable, but they don't feel cheap.
There you go. Perfect way to put that.
Inexpensive.
They're affordable, but they don't feel cheap. They're premium quality glasses for a non-premium price.
Yes. Perfect way to end that. Thanks to both our sponsors, Gooder and Manscaped. Now on to rumors. All right. I think this is actually my favorite part of the show, where we actually get to talk a little bit about rumors. We try not to talk about them much because we don't want to feed the trolls out there. But there's some supposedly credible things being said about a Kid Icarus Uprising game coming to the Switch, and maybe even a new Star Fox game. Not Submergence, everybody, not Submergence. Coming to the Switch. They're all
That's
rumored.
something that was started in our own Discord, or was that something?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was a thing, or that was brought in, or if something that one of our Discordians started.
I think there's a lot behind it, I think, and it even spilled over to the Mega Dads, I think, too. So, but
of course it did.
We know we can't believe the hype for most of these so-called insiders, but sometimes the rumor does point to some sort of direction for an actual announcement. So what do you guys think of these? Are these likely, or is it pointing to something else that maybe that these, rumors got wrong, but we could see something about? And before you answer, let me just say one thing. There was one thing that I did ask the community when anybody who follows me at NeoPrime33, I did a poll saying about Kid Icarus, asking where does this fall on everybody's hype meter? And I got 36 votes. And out of the choices, I got Not My Thing, which Jesse said you would pick that one. Right. Want to Learn More, Going on the Wish List, and Take My Money, Nintendo. And I got 50% of the vote saying Take My Money, Nintendo, out of the 36 votes, which I thought was pretty cool. And I'm one of those people that I would definitely play a Kid Icarus Uprising. But with that out of the way, what do you guys think? Is this likely, or is there something else going on here that we could likely see instead?
I'll tell you what I would like to see more than Kid Icarus remake is a new Kid Icarus game. And with Sakurai off the leash of Smash, it's not unheard of that might actually happen. If you remember when Nintendo did Kid Icarus Uprising, and I was recently listening to the episode of the Kit and Krista podcast where they talked about this, there was a ton of marketing, promotion, and energy that went behind Kid Icarus Uprising when it came out. Now, of course, the 3DS had to be doing sales at that time, but it was a huge push game for Nintendo, including the monster cards, like the Kid Icarus cards that I never found.
This was still launch year because I remember playing the Kid Icarus demo at E3 2011. 3 months after 3DS launch. So this was an early game. In fact, that was the first 3DS game announced.
And when I say that the 3DS needed to sell, they needed a hit. Like they needed something to generate onboarding, right? So, and it was. I mean, this is a cult classic game. There's a lot of people who want a sequel. I really don't think it does much to upgrade Uprising to the Switch as much as people would want that. I would like a sequel. And for whatever reason, even though that game was a 2011 game, they keep coming back to Pit and Palutena in a lot of media. And so it kind of makes me think they're not done with them yet.
Yep.
As for the Star Fox thing, the more Star Fox they can give me, the better. As long as it's not Star Fox Zero.
So yeah, we don't want remakes. The rumor is a new Star Fox game, but like I said, there's a lot of times the rumors are wrong usually, or the insider information is wrong, but it is kind of like
a grain of truth.
It's a grain. Yes, exactly. A grain of truth in there. So that's why I thought it would be interesting to talk about, like, are we going to get a new Kid Icarus game? And maybe instead of a new Star Fox, we are getting a port, but who knows? Maybe it's flipped around.
I think if they can find a better way for the control scheme versus the way they did in 3DS, the game does deserve a second chance on Switch as a remaster.
Yeah.
But if they can't find a good way to do it, then just make a different game.
Yeah. And for me, I think too, it's like if they are bringing Uprising, they definitely would do a new control scheme. And I think it's something too a lot of teams use to kind of, and I'm guessing here, I don't know for sure, but maybe it's a way for teams to get used to getting their feet wet to get ready to build the next game. So they first work on a game that's already established, and just remaster it or rebuild it for the new system. And then they take what they learned from that and then build the new game. So,
and it's not unheard of for just things that they've learned. They said, I like this, and it gives them more ideas. That's basically how Link's Awakening was born. It was originally supposed to be a remake or a demake of Link to the Past on the Game Boy.
Nice.
But then it was changed up.
Nice. That's cool. Yep. And of course, Star Fox, I think would be awesome if they did a new game. I wonder if it's working with, say, Ubisoft. Maybe they're gonna, because they did such a good job with their version of Star Fox that they allowed them to do a game. Starlink, yeah, with Star Fox. That would be cool.
If you can get Ubisoft away from games as a service things.
Yeah.
To they're so wrapped up in that, it's ridiculous.
To add a little fuel to that fire, the rumor that Star Fox that I've seen came along with is a game and an animated series. And Nintendo did just purchase a company that makes movies.
An animation studio. Yeah.
Yes. They just purchased an animation studio.
Right. And maybe that's where that rumor is getting mixed up. Maybe it's not a new game. Maybe it is something to do with.
But again, like you said, Tim, a little bit of here, a little bit of truth there, a little bit of truth there.
Where can we piece these things together?
I'd be all for it. I really do think that Star Fox is one of those series where they would greatly benefit from an animated series or something like that would delve into the story and let the games just focus on the action.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got a great setting. I'd watch it.
Absolutely. I remember that the animated short they put out like 6 years ago. That was really good.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. So they do have something there. So very cool. Well, thanks guys for your opinion on that. Let's move on to let's discuss. Let's talk some more. I like this, sitting back talking about stuff, So but Marty, you had a question that you wanted to bring up, which was what are our favorite multiplayer games on the Switch?
Yeah, so right now there's this huge multiplayer sale going on the eShop that actually involves several Nintendo first-party titles. I was very surprised. Mario Party is in there. Hyrule Warriors is in there. And it got me thinking, since those are on sale, what would we recommend as our favorite multiplayer games on Switch? Because they may actually fall on that sale, and people may be able to pick up a deal here at the end of the summer, something they can play with their family, play with their kids. So I'll let you guys go first, and then I'll share mine.
So ones that were on the list, or any of them?
Any multiplayer game.
Well, any multiplayer. Okay, so
I'm going to just opt out of this question since y'all know how much I like multiplayer games.
Okay.
And the one thing I was going to say, Marty's already got it on his list, so I'll just let him talk about it.
Gotcha.
All right. So my some of my favorites are beat 'em ups. I always like playing beat 'em ups with my friends in those type of games like Streets of Rage or Scott Pilgrim and all that. And the recent Turtles, of course. Yeah. And the most recent one I picked up was called Samurai Riot. In fact, it was actually a code that we were given, and I did a short first look at it. And actually, I enjoyed the music and the animation's really cool in it and stuff like that. And I'm enjoying that one too. It falls in the beat 'em ups. However, the rest of my family doesn't like playing them with me as much as I like playing them. Like Sammy will join me in it every once in a while. But they prefer other multiplayer games. And the other ones that they like is like the let's see, what did my wife say? She said she likes the trying to find it. Here it is. She likes Jackbox games, she mentioned as well. So, but also Animal Crossing. We like getting together, even though there's not like many games around there in the game itself to be playing. We make up our own games and just kind of have fun goofing around in Animal Crossing. And that's been our go-to lately. In fact, we just jumped back into it recently. But when it's just me and Sammy for playing multiplayer, we like playing the Quake game that was re-released or remastered. That's out on the Switch and other systems as well. We have a blast going in there, jumping in there, and then just random people jumping in with us when we unlock the rooms. So that's been fun. Among Us with the community was a lot of fun when we were really into that one. And Boomerang Foo was another one of our favorites here in the house too. So, and actually I see that on your list too, Marty. So, but those are some of our top favorite multiplayers.
Yeah, I was going to say you've hit a couple of mine with Jackbox games. Those are always fun, either in house or on stream. And I think you can't go wrong with any of them. However, I think if you don't have any of them, the brand new Jackbox starter pack or whatever it's called is a great place to start. It's really the best games from all 8 packs in one. And so I would encourage you to try that one first. Boomerang Foo, we keep going back to. We'll jump in and play that. Unlock some things. We're still unlocking costumes for characters, and it's just a lot of fun. A game that is like it that I think came out very early on in the Switch life cycle that doesn't get a lot of love right now is Astro Duel Deluxe, which is you control a little spaceship, you navigate a maze, or you navigate an arena, and you shoot and try to kill each other, but over time power-ups appear, and some of the stages have stage hazards, and it's raucous fun. If you've never tried it, it's usually stays pretty cheap on the eShop. But I'd also recommend Clubhouse Games, the 51 game collection. There's several of those you can play 2-player or play with your family. And then Mario Party, Super Mario Party, and Mario Party Superstars. I would both recommend. Super Mario Party seems to be a little more my family's flavor, because the Mario Party Superstars it hinges on those old Nintendo 64 and GameCube rules for Mario Party, and it just kind of gets a little stiff, a little old pretty quick. But yeah, both of those are good choices, and those ironically are on sale as well. So yeah,
I'll add one that you two didn't mention. That is probably my son's favorite game. When he's not playing Valorant or Fortnite, he's playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, online with his friends. Normally in like closed tournaments, but he's playing online, playing multiplayer.
Nice.
gotcha.
In the chat, I see Chris HL mentioned MLB The Show. So
I was
sports
going
ball.
to say NHL 94 relaunch.
Nope. An actual game that's on the Switch, MLB The Show, which I agree with him on, but I've been having a lot of fun with that, just a single player mode. So I haven't joined any multiplayer games yet. So, and of course, Shredder's Revenge was thrown out there. Among Us, they're saying I'm very suspicious in that game all the time. So
I would say I forgot about Among Us. So yeah, I would agree with that.
yeah. So if there's anybody else out there, just let us know what your favorite multiplayer games are so we can share it with the community and talk about it there. So either come in our Discord, let us know, or share with us your games on Twitter. Sheesh. That's where everybody is Twitter, apparently, including Nintendo.
Right.
So, all right. Excellent question, Marty. Thanks for bringing that up too. And yeah, and don't forget about if any of these games, like Marty said, check out the Switch's recent sale on multiplayer games going on right now. Also, Marty, you were asked, because you weren't able to answer this question last week, to pitch your Nintendo cinematic universe.
Ooh. Wow. So I think that we start with a basic concept, one that may trouble and scare some people or make them shake their heads.
Okay.
Here's where it begins.
Those are the best movies, aren't they?
Here's the best one. Here's my best shot. Okay.
Okay.
The concept is Mario is missing.
There we go.
That's troubling already.
the MacGuffin, the central, crux of the story is that Mario has to be found, because only Mario can deal with the threat of Bowser. Everyone else has been put to the side. Everyone else has been deferred. Everyone else has been defeated. Mario must be found. And we're gonna go with a tight core cast here. Kirby, Pikachu, Link have to go on an epic adventure through many Nintendo lands to find Phanto's key to rescue Mario from the dungeon that he is in. And in one of the movies, Phanto is the main villain. Okay. He's ever present. He's always watching. He always knows where you are. He can teleport through walls.
He is Santa Claus with a mask.
But all you have to do is throw the key away, and then he'll go away until you pick it back up again.
Okay.
So, we go from there. They find Mario. Mario has an epic showdown with Bowser that includes elements from Mario Galaxy, because Bowser has become powerful enough to draw the universe into himself, and it ends with Mario throwing Bowser into space and shouting his famous catchphrase, "So long, Bowser." Then everyone has a dance party, and the movie's over.
Okay.
As we remix the Mario theme with The Weeknd and some rapper, whoever's available.
Okay. Gotcha.
Is this Chris Pradio or is this Martinet?
It's neither. Mario is live action, and Mario is played by Danny DeVito.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I'm take my money.
Bowser,
I'll watch it.
Bowser is played by Nicolas Cage in a rubber suit.
Okay.
I
like where this is going.
Tell me that you would not watch this just for the facial expressions, just totally. For Bowser's facial expressions alone from Nicolas Cage.
It is it a rubber suit, or is it one of those blow up suits?
Like a Godzilla suit. It's a Godzilla suit. It's rubber. He's got to put in the work. He's got to be in there and sweat.
Okay. So I thought maybe it was one of those zip up, blow up air suits, that people run around in those dinosaur ones, but it's Bowser.
And look, Princess Peach is played by the who played Harley Quinn. She's the only person in Hollywood who can play famous blonde women now.
That's
Margot,
yeah.
Margot Robbie. There you go. Yeah. Princess Peach.
There you
go.
I like that.
Okay.
And they're going to go out and they're going to paint a fence post in a yellow and orange dress, and that's going to be Daisy. There you go.
Personality match. Perfect.
I hate Daisy. I asked somebody when she debuted in Mario Strikers, is she supposed to be stupid? Because like every time Daisy's in a game, all she does is scream her name. Daisy!
I didn't realize that.
What happened? Like she shows up in the trailer, comes busting through the portal. Daisy! Why does Nintendo hate Daisy?
But in that intro trailer, the lip syncing animation was spot on.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are very happy that she's in the game. I keep holding out hope for another heavy character, and it's Wart. He's back.
Oh.
One of these days, Nintendo will acknowledge Wart.
Something will happen where Wart is back, right?
Okay. They will have to acknowledge him. He's there.
I like your cinematic universe.
Seriously, like I know that I was joking around about that, but my serious pick is probably what you guys have already talked about, and that is that the only way that you do a Nintendo Cinematic Universe is Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah, we pretty much talked about, individual movies, small, introducing characters, and it leads up into a Smash
I mean,
movie.
the Sonic
I-
that they have
I-
in the Sonic
I-
movies would work.
I said maybe a Mario Kart movie before Smash as like a half of an Avengers movie.
Mario Kart movie in the style of Smokey and the Bandit. It's
Or
a
Cannonball Run.
nationwide race from one edge
That's
of the
Cannonball
Mushroom
Run.
Kingdom to the other. Cannonball Run.
There you go.
That's it. Everybody's in a cart. Everybody.
Take my
Except for
money.
who-
I'd
except
watch
for
all
Link,
of this.
who's on his motorcycle.
Yeah, he's on his motorcycle.
He's on a horse-shaped motorcycle where the legs don't move and they're just joined together into a wheel.
Right.
Except it's a real horse with a wheel for feet.
And then Pokemon Trainer will just be riding one of the new legendaries from Gen 9. Because
That
that
could
they're
work.
going to be. Because just look at those models. They're going to be a mount. They have to be.
And Kirby is literally a wheel. He's the wheel ability.
Okay.
So he's just rolling.
See,
on
if
his
he's
own.
ever in Mario Kart, that's what I want. I want him to
sentient
just
rock.
be standing there. I just want him to be standing there at the beginning, and then like it's counting down 3, 2. He turns into the wheel. 1. He's
How
gone.
about he just mouthful molds?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
a
now-
tire.
Yeah. Now that's going to be taken over now
If he
because of
mouthful
the
modes a
Forgotten
tire,
Land.
then that means that every rotation he's just getting run over.
That would be funny. Actually. You just
Well,
see that.
Kirby doesn't
Go
need to be comedy relief. That's Yoshi's job.
Okay. All right. I think we've
Tag
got a
team
good
that
story
with
going
Toad.
here.
But
think we got a
seriously,
good story.
Smash Brothers is the serious pitch. Mario's missing.
I think we
Is
just
the
need
non-serious
to.
pitch.
I think I want to see your Mario is missing movie.
And then they find him, and you know where he's at? Hotel Mario. And you know what he's doing?
What's
He's
he doing?
teaching typing.
Teaching typing. Yeah,
All right, Nintendo, take notes and give us a call when you want more details. So, with that, let's move on to events. All right, quickly, I'll go through the events. We've got the dinner table, which happens every third Friday of the month. The Nintendo Dad's Discord community gets together to discuss what is on everyone's minds. So no main dish yet to discuss, but we'll as we get closer, we'll have a main dish to talk about. But everybody else brings a side dish.
Figure it out.
Everybody else brings a side dish, and that's just whatever they want to talk about. And usually we have a cocktail hour where we talk about TV shows and movies and all kinds of stuff. But this past month was hilarious because if you weren't there, you missed out on the stories that we came up with because one of our community members was at a PonyCon. I forget what it was called, but it was for
TrotCon
in Ohio. And we came up with all kinds of stories as to who was there and who this person was hanging out with. And they were handing out Choco Tacos to everybody. And by the way,
Which are now now extinct.
Yeah, 3 days later, they announced the cancellation of the taco.
Because
You guys
he
besmirched the
handed out-
Choco Taco, and look what happened.
He
Thanks,
handed out
Klondike.
too much. He handed too many Choco Tacos out that they ran out of supply and they didn't want to make any more. So that's how that ended up going. But anyways, you had to be there. It was a lot of fun. Again, this happens every third Friday of the month, which in August is August 19th at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I know a lot of people can't make that because it's late at night and it's a Friday night and lots of things going on, life going on, or you just might be in another time zone or another country. So we are talking about doing a breakfast table for those people who can't make the dinner table. It's not going to replace the dinner table. It's just going to be another time slot where we'll see if people can come join in and just chit chat for a couple hours, either before work or during their lunch break. They can stop in and pop in or whatever, but we're working on it. We're trying to figure it out in the community, and stay tuned there. Now, in
We're
order
the bacon.
All right. In order for you to join in, again, this is a community event that anybody who's a Patreon or a Twitch subscriber can join in through our Discord via their call system. So if you're not part of that and you want to be a part of these shows and you want to hear about crazy stories we come up with, come join in for $1, at least $1 for Patreon. Or if you're already doing Twitch stuff, like if you get your Amazon Prime and you want to use your free Twitch month of Twitch subscriptions that you can use, give it to us. And then you can get into our Patreon and join in. All right. And then finally, another event going on this Saturday, July 30th. Check GameStop's website to see if your GameStop is doing a Kids Day featuring Nintendo. So go to GameStop's website for participating locations. There's no details. However, Go Nintendo stated that they did say, or GameStop said, that the event will let customers demo games, find characters, and win prizes. And of course, there'll be a sale on Switch games and Nintendo products. So give that a go. Check it out. Take your kids. Make it a day. Make it fun. But first, make sure that your GameStop is doing that event. That's it. Let's move on to Jesse's PokéMinute.
Pika, pika, Pikachu.
I hate you all.
Before I start, again, because there's no pre-show, I'll restate the joke that I said. Normally last show of the month has updates of everything going on in the next month. I normally have Robo Jesse doing that, but I didn't have the time to set it up, so I'm going to do it myself. And so the joke is, it is recommended that Robo Jesse cannot be used in temperatures above 95 degrees. So that's why he's not being used.
Yes.
Okay, upcoming events for Pokemon Go. Bug Out. Creepy and crawly or cute and cuddly? Decide for yourself when this event featuring bug-type Pokemon returns from Wednesday, August 10th to Tuesday, August 16th. The 2022 Pokemon World Championships will feature Pokemon Go for the very first time, and they're holding an in-game celebration from Thursday, August 18th to Tuesday, August 23rd. Keep an eye out for more details. Pokemon appearing in 5-star raids. Palkia from July 31st to August 10th. Genesect from August 10th to August 18th. This Genesect will have a different drive than it has in its past Pokemon Go appearances. Stay tuned for more information. Zacian and Zamazenta from August 18th to August 31st. Pokemon appearing in Mega Raids. Mega Abomasnow from July 31st to August 10th. A yet-to-be-announced Mega Pokemon from August 10th to August 18th. Mega Slowbro from August 18th to August 25th. And Mega Ampharos from August 25th to August 31st. An August research breakthrough encounter will be Galarian Stunfisk.
Bless you.
Do tight.
On to what we've been playing. And before we start getting into too much of the games we've been playing, I first want to say thanks, Jesse, for always putting that together and letting the community know about those upcoming events. It's we don't get any feedback on that, but I'm sure it's very helpful for people because we haven't got any feedback that it's a bad thing. So no feedback is a good thing. So Marty, you've been gone the longest. What you been playing all this time?
Oh my gosh. Lots of things. So let's just start a list. How about that?
Yes, sir. Let's go for it.
I have been playing Capcom Arcadium. I want to say Arcadium Stadium, which is a much more superior name, or Capcom Stadium Arcadium 2, which actually the real name is Capcom Arcade Stadium 2. This came out on the 21st, and I bought the bundle, which means you got every game in the pack for $40. Nice. And the main reason I wanted it was, Capcom just put out the Capcom Fighter Pack not too many weeks ago.
The beat 'em ups, right?
Yeah, the beat 'em ups.
Okay.
And almost all, it was Darkstalkers and several of those. Most of those are in this as well.
The fighting one. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
So I opted for this one because it included Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, and 3, which I already had.
Oh, nice.
But it also had Dark Stalkers and the extremely rare Mega Man Power Battles, which is an arcade, basically boss rush mode of Mega Man, where it operates kind of like a fighting game, but you're playing as Mega Man. So like you choose a boss to fight. The first game, excuse me, it has lots of like you could choose Mega Man 1 through 3 and then 4 through 6 and fight bosses from those. And it's like a different selection of bosses from each game. And you gain their powers, and then you have to figure out what beats what. And then at the end, you fight Dr. Wily. And you can play as Mega Man, Proto Man, or Bass. And the second one, you can play as Mega Man, Proto Man, Bass, or Duo, who debuted in Mega Man 8 for the PlayStation. So they're a little wonky. Like it's weird to like be running around. I mean, imagine like playing it with a joystick and you're running around as Mega Man, charging up your blaster and taking out bosses. But the music's good. The graphics are great. For me, that was the highlight of the pack alone. But it also had Knights of the Round and several other beat 'em ups as well throughout Capcom history. So I'm excited about that.
Ms. 1K3 agrees with you on the Mega Man game. It's so good.
Yeah. I've also been playing Live Alive. I got this on the day it came out, thanks to Nintendo giving us a code. And I just finished the prehistory level or section yesterday, and I'm looking to start Ancient China tomorrow. I'm doing them in order, like the furthest back to the future. So I started with prehistory. I'll do Ancient China, then Edo, Japan, then Wild West, then present day, distant future, or whatever's in the middle. Present day, not so distant future, and distant future. So I'm enjoying it. It's a different kind of role-playing game. It's very Japanese, but if you haven't played it yet, the prehistory level has prehistory section, 0 dialogue. Everything is sounds and animations and context cues. So really interesting dynamic going on there.
I figured whose tweet it was, but someone says, anyone who says video games aren't art has not seen this scene, and it's a campfire scene from prehistory.
Yes.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Been playing that. I've dived back into to Turtles, Shredder's Revenge in that time as well. Finished up ElecHead. Like I said, I had a lot of time to sit and play games. Been playing some Sonic Origins. But I've also been playing, I want to talk about this game. I've got a video up for it on our channel. Rabbids Party of Legends, which is a party game featuring Rabbids. It's out now on Nintendo Switch. It was developed by Ubisoft to help celebrate the Chinese New Year, the Year of the Monkey. And it is very confusing. The games are okay. I don't recommend it. It does like make an effort to have a story mode. So like you can play it alone or play it by yourself, or play it with friends as a team. But like in just playing it, I've played it for about 20 minutes on stream and played it here and there elsewhere. It just didn't grab me. All of the Rabbids are like themed after Chinese mythological characters, like the Monkey King and this pig and all kinds of stuff. And it just, I don't know, call it cultural ignorance or cultural divide, but it didn't G-haul with me. So I don't think I'll be playing that anymore. The other game that I've been playing is not on a Nintendo device, but it is called Stray, and it's on PS5. And I've been playing that some. I got kind of stuck. There's a part in the city where you have to find like some journals, and I'm stuck on that.
The slums.
So, yeah, the slums. So I'm not out of that yet, but I'm enjoying it, taking time with it, enjoying the visuals and just the experiences of being a cat, being a jerk. Like you can knock stuff off shelves, you can
Yes.
claw up carpets. It's great. It's
Yes.
fantastic. There are more games where you play as animals, please. Yeah.
Except for Goat
we jump
Simulator.
back
We've
into-
had enough of those.
We jump back into Lego Star Wars as well, moving toward 500 out of 1,200 Kyber bricks found. So my wife she's actually playing, and I'm helping her out, like directing her and helping her find things,
Nice.
because the split screen's a little jarring. At times it gets a little old on my eyes, so I'd rather her just play it and me help.
Is she going for the dad's bounty board for all the Kyber crystals?
I
bricks?
guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna. I guess that's gonna be the challenge that never gets done. What we're trying to do is 100% every planet, and when we do that, we'll be close.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
That's
lots
true.
of games, lots of fun.
Yes. Thanks for sharing, Marty. And speaking of that game, I'll just mention one more time, the Dad's Bounty Board. Dad's After Dark show, they had the bounty board, and they still have one up for the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga game, where if you get all the Kyber bricks and you can prove it, you get a $10 eShop card. Simple as that. Although, I don't know, it doesn't sound as simple to do. There's a lot of
No.
Kyber bricks.
The 1,200 Kyber bricks is way more than 1,200. I'm just gonna say, like, you got to think about that. Okay.
Yes. That is a ton. All right, Jesse, what you been playing, sir?
Okay, so let's see, where do I want to start? Let's just start. I'll start with Live Alive, since I've kind of been mixing it up. I'm not going in any particular order. I started with the 3 that were in the demo, so I finished the China one. I finished the Distant Future one. I tried to finish the Edo Japan one. I do not like that story, and that one is going to be a hard pill to swallow. So I'm skipping it for now. And then I since did the present day, and I think Marty's going to like that one for many reasons. I'm kind of reluctant to say anything more on that. I kind of don't want to spoil it for him. But if you've played the game and you know Marty, you kind of know what I'm talking about. I'll probably talk about it more next week, or at least when he's gotten that
I'll
far.
try to be
far.
done with it by then. All right.
Okay. All right.
Goals.
Sounds good. And that's as far as I got. So I think the next one I'm going to try is the prehistory one, because that one sounds interesting. Okay, then. So last week I talked about this. It was the Escape Academy, and so I saw another game released, a smaller escape room released on the Switch called Japanese Escape Games: The Hotel of Tricks, and it was like $5. So I gave that maybe it was $5 or $10. I think it was $5. So I gave that a try. And I've done other escape room type games on the Switch, but this one I didn't like as much. But of course, this is also the first game I've played through that by this developer, and it normally takes me a bit to really get the grasp of how that developer designs puzzles. So it started when it was only 2 rooms to deal with. Things went pretty quick, but once it was like 5 rooms, there was a lot of weird back and forth that seemed weird. So a second game in that franchise, in a hospital, was released today, and there's already a third game up, I think due next week, that was up for pre-order. So I bought the hospital one and I pre-ordered the third one. So I'm for whenever that gets released. Again, they were only $5 or $10 each, and I think it only took me like less than 2 hours to play through it. So they're relatively short games. So hopefully either they get better at puzzle making or I get better at figuring out their puzzles. Otherwise, they do have a relatively good hint system that isn't punishing, but it's actually kind of a little too easy to access the hints. And sometimes I'm like, let's look at this hint. I'm like, no, I don't. I want to figure it out first. And then I normally end up going to the hint anyway. Okay. Next is a pair of games I want to talk about that because the game that will release today is Puzzletronix Digital Infinite, and which I found out about last week. And then when I was looking, so when I heard about it, I looked it up on the Nintendo website and found out that there is another game in this franchise. Franchise is big, heavy air quotes, just called Puzzletronix that was released, late 2020 or sometime last year. I don't remember when. So the first Puzzletronix, and what got my attention is because of all the breadboard electronics work from my 6502 project. This is kind of that. It kind of gives you a board with an LED light, various paths for electricity, a battery, and then starts off with just simple, connect the lines and light the LED with the battery. And I think there's like resistors, but these resistors are non-polarity, so it doesn't matter which way they go. But the battery and the LED do have polarities, so you have to match the minuses and the positives, or else it won't light. And then as you go through the game, it adds additional elements like capacitors, resistors. So I don't remember everything, but it makes the game a little bit more complicated. I think there are 60 puzzles total, and like in less than 2 hours, I got to the last level, and that one is where I got stuck, just because it's huge. But but for a cheap little puzzle game, I liked it. So I liked it enough to want to play the second game that came out today, Puzzletronix Digital Infinite, which is similar premise, but instead of dealing with resistors and transistors and stuff like that, it uses logic gates. And so the game gives you buttons and an LED light that you're supposed to connect all the paths to make sure everything's connected to something, and you need to turn on the light. And initially it's just, there's nothing in the middle. It's literally you push the button, the light turns on after you've laid the path. But then it adds on not gates, or gates, and gates, nor gates, or not or, which is, and so it does add logic, like real logic, mathematical thinking, that and this is stuff that you'd see in electronics. I'm dealing with it with my 6502 kit, so
which you can see him do when we have a dinner table. He's working on that whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I had these magnifying glasses on, and people were like, "What are you wearing?" So I don't know how many puzzles are in this one. This one is, but I think I'm already around the 50th puzzle, so I'm probably near the end of the game. But I am liking this puzzle. See, yeah, Nintendo was asking me if there's a new Picross game coming out from Juniper. Yes, there is. Well, I only know it's coming out next week in Japan. I presume it's also going to come in North America. It looks to be kind of like a competitive Picross. I don't know if you remember the DS Picross game. It actually had an online mode where you connect with someone and you try to do a puzzle as faster. Whoever gets the fastest wins. I don't know if that's going to be like that or something else, but it's called Picross Cross or Picross X.
If it is something like that, and you and my wife are up for it, I would like to see you two play against each other, because you two play these Picross games like crazy.
I think that'd be fun.
All right. Yeah, it would be interesting. I'll have to see if she's up for it too. But
yeah, so I think the full name of the game was Picross Cross, and then it was like a name versus a name. I just don't remember what those names were. And so when Jupiter's YouTube channel put out 2 videos yesterday morning. One was just a normal 1.5-minute trailer, and the other was a 20-minute video of a VTuber playing the game. It wasn't didn't have any English subtitles because it was on the Japanese account, so I didn't watch it because I wouldn't understand what was said. But that's when she pronounced it Picross Cross.
Okay.
And so and the VTuber model like had Jupiter logo on her shirt, and there was Jupiter branding all over her banners. So I don't know if they actually have like a Jupiter-chan, a VTuber, or if they just paid another VTuber to say, "Hey, we'll sponsor you to do a video. Use these art assets in your design."
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've got. So yeah, I'll if that does come out next week, I'll give it a play and I'll probably talk about it.
Okay. Is that it for you, Jesse?
That's it for me.
All right. All right, let me get through mine real quick. I played a lot of similar games between the two of you guys here, so mine should be pretty quick. I will mention this Puzzletronix and Puzzletronix Digital Infinite. I'm playing because of Jesse. It's your fault, sir, that I'm playing these games. So
You're welcome.
But Puzzletronix is $1.99 in the US eShop. It's 50% off right now. So if you're interested, go check it out there. And then the newer one that just came out is also still on sale, 25% off for $2.99 in the US eShop. So go check it out. It is a lot of fun. It's just I'm enjoying the mental challenges of looking at these things. And I've only gotten on the first game I played up to level 31 out of the 70 you said, I think it was
60.
60 out of the 60 puzzles. I'm just over half, I guess. So, and then Puzzletronix Digital Infinite, I got up to 21 puzzles. I finished 21 puzzles there. So getting through that. And as I mentioned earlier, Animal Crossing New Horizons, my family, we picked it back up and we've been goofing around in there because of my daughter. She actually has been playing it and working on her island a lot. And she's been asking questions about what we have in our, my wife and I, we played it a ton, lots of hours into it. So she's asking what we have that we could give to her. So we started jumping back in and playing it more, and we got back in together as a family and just having fun with it. So back into that. I haven't played the DLC yet either, and I'm not sure if I'm going to yet. Just haven't been in that mood to do that yet. But just general Animal Crossing right now, lots of fun. Live Alive, been playing that as well. Last week I mentioned I finished the demo. I brought it over when the game came up. I brought it over to the full game, dabbled a little bit more in those same ones I played in the demo, but I really haven't had the urge to jump back into the game. I don't know if it's because of what I played in a demo. I'm just like, look, this is the game, or if it's just because I'm kind of like, I need something more action oriented. And I think that might be the case because of just where I'm at with games right now, just more action, because I'm already playing like some of these puzzle games that's not action oriented and all that kind of stuff. So I picked up Redout 2 to kind of help balance that out. And I did a video of that's out there as well. And I played a little bit more of that, trying to get better at some of the licenses that you can get to get better in the game and unlock certain areas. And I found out while playing the game, because I went back to check something on what kind of game it is. It's not only a racing game, but it's also listed as a simulation, which means that you have to, and this makes sense because before I can move on in these levels in the career mode, I have to understand the physics of the game and my ship and everything like that. It's not just about racing, taking corners, knowing when to boost and all that. You got to be able to pitch up or down, or strafe left or right, along with turning left or right and all that. And you got to time things just right. So there's a lot going on there. Not saying it's a bad thing. It's just I have to get my mind right when playing it, and I have to have full concentration when playing it, because there's one license I can't get. I got the first two licenses I got first place on after, did much better than I did in the video. So if you go watch the video, you can see I did poorly after the first time, for the first look. but I got first place in both the first two tracks, and then the third one, it's the boosting. For whatever reason, I can't seem to get the boosting down right, the timing on that right. So I can't get past that stage and move on. So, but if you like fast games like Wipeout or Fast RMX or even the first Redout game, go check those out. Redout 2 is also available on the other systems. So if you prefer better graphics and stuff like that, and better frame rates, go there to play it. But if you want to play a good fast game on the go, racing game, Redout 2 isn't bad. I'm enjoying it. The only thing I will complain about there is playing in handheld mode. Joy-Cons are not enough for gripping and being able to do all the different shoulder buttons and all that to be able to, do what the things I mentioned about strafing, pitching, boosting, all those things. So get something that helps with that. So and I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to be playing around with different setups to see if I can get better at it that way when I play in handheld, or it just may be a game I have to play with my Pro Controller in docked. So that being said, with that being my main game, I'll just talk quickly about the last game I've been playing. Yes, I beat Stray when I talked about it last week, but I'm going back in since we did the show, the Dads After Dark show, their spotlight on Stray. I was a part of their show for that. And we talked about how to, get back into the game. We found out a way to get back into it easily so I can get some of those either trophies or at least 100% in the game. So, which is really cool. So I've been dabbling a little bit with that, going back in some of the chapters and getting some of the things I missed. With that, that's what I've been playing, and we'll move on quickly to the community spotlight. All right, let's get some of these questions out of the way so that we can let Marty jump off, because he's still trying to get better here. So let's get a couple of these questions out of the way, and then we'll let him go, and then we'll finish off the other questions. But first one, Marty, we got one for you specifically. Rate the individual performances of the other dads out of the 10 for their looking after the show while you were away.
This is petty. This is a trap. This is stirring the pot, whatever you want to call it. This is drama. Jesse, 10 out of 10. Would listen to recording again. Tim, 10 out of 10. Justin, out of 10.
Less than 10.
There was not
10 out of 10.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you broke up there. What was that? I
cannot give Justin less than 10 out of 10 because my man came on the internet in front of everybody, bared his soul.
Yes.
Shared his dilemma of where he is right now as far as what he feels about video games, Nintendo in particular. I can't be hating on that.
No.
You got what you saw over these last 5 weeks was not looking after the show. It wasn't keeping the show afloat. This show exists without me. All right. It does. It can. And so, and that's okay. All right. We, without getting all too philosophical and everything, we all have to be careful that we don't ever come to a place where we feel like we're totally irreplaceable, because what happens is we start to put too much emphasis on ourselves and not the people around us. And so I'm thankful that the three of y'all were able to keep this going. I'm thankful that when somebody gets sick or has some catastrophic thing happen or just work related obligations that don't allow us to be free on Thursday night, that we can keep doing this.
Right.
Because it's really for the community. It's for the fans. So you guys did a great job. I'm happy to be back on. Like Tim said, I'm still having some issues. I'm still recovering. So I had COVID back in 2020, in June. It was a very mild case. It didn't affect me very much. I had some issues. I had it back in February, and had fatigue and sinus stuff a little more than this past time has been tough. And I want to thank everybody who checked up on me and reached out. Just looking back on it now that I'm kind of past it and getting past it, I didn't realize kind of how serious it was at times. And I would say comparably had a pretty mild case. It was just, it got into other things that I deal with. I don't know if I'm not going to go into all of the specifics, but I think I've said on the show here before that back in 2010, I almost died of a pulmonary embolism, which is a blood clot in your lung, or multiple blood clots in your lungs. I had a very severe pulmonary embolism in my right lung that shut it down completely. And when I was recovering in the hospital, I was in the hospital for 7 days and then did 6 months of recovery after that. The doctor said two things that I will never forget. The first was, I remember waking up in the middle of her, looking at my wife and saying, 5% of people who have this condition survive it. The other 95 either don't catch it in time or it happens and they just immediately die because that blood clot either flecks off and goes to their heart and their heart shuts down, or it goes to their brain and they have an aneurysm.
Right.
The other thing that she said was, from now on, anything that you deal with respiratory wise will be harder for you to get over, will be harder for you to deal with, because your lungs are going to have a part that never recovers. Like, you're never going to get back to 100%. It's kind of like your battery on your phone. If you charge it too much, or let it drain too much, like you get to a point where it's like 80% is as far as it can go. Well, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So the COVID and getting into that, combined with the fact that it's been 100 degrees or more here for however long, it's tough, and I get worn out, and just bear with me.
Well, we're glad you've been able to take care of yourself and it didn't get any more severe than it needed to. So happy that you've been able to take care of yourself, man.
I'm glad to be back.
Yes. But more questions for you from the friendo.
Okay.
Marty isn't Canadian?
No, I'm not. I know that's shocking when you hear me speak. I did visit Canada once for a week.
You're Southern Canadian. You're Southern Canadian.
The sad thing is I was in Canada for a week and did not get any poutine. I did not eat poutine. I don't know why. I did have Timbits, though. I had Timbits, and I can tell you that Timbits are just as magical as everyone says there are. So there you go. Canada was a wonderful place. No, I did not meet Justin while I was there. That's not how I got on the podcast. I actually went there on a mission trip. So we were in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. That's where we were. Then we came back and we got on the same boat that Jim and Pam Halpert got married on The Office, and went out into the Maid of the Mist.
Nice.
It was awesome.
That sounds like fun.
It was a lot of fun.
All right. Last question for you, sir. From Mecha Dragon. Marty, is Airman in Mega Man 2 an easy boss or a hard one?
Depends on your weapon loadout. If you have previously conquered Woodman, easy boss. Because Airman's weakness is the leaf shield. If you're fighting him on your own and you're just using the Mega Buster,
with the piece,
it can be challenging. It can be challenging. And can I beat Airman and not take a hit? No, can't do it. So be sure you go in fully powered. Be sure you go in with the leaf shield. And then he takes like 4 hits. It's easy. I just played through, I will say this. This wasn't in my what I've been playing, but I'm going to throw it in there. I just played through Mega Man: The Wily Wars, which is out on the Sega Genesis Nintendo Switch Online app.
That's right. Yeah.
It's the Sega Genesis versions of Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. and then a brand new game where it's called Wily Tower. It's actually just like a Wily boss stage where you can choose your loadout. Like you can choose from all the weapons through Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. Choose Rush. You get to pick like 8 weapons and 2 Rush supports, and it was really fun. I'd never beaten that. I beat it. I guess a couple weeks. Well, it was like right after it came out. It's really different. It's like it feels different, sounds different than the NES versions. There's some notable differences in difficulty, especially in Mega Man 2. Since I played that so much, like it's very noticeable for that game.
Right.
But I thought
but you were able to adjust pretty quickly on it.
Yeah, I mean, and the rewind feature doesn't hurt.
Of course.
Right.
Of course.
So thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to all of you out there. I'm going to hop off here and go get some more rest, and I'll be back next week. We'll see you next time.
Good night, Marty.
Bye, guys.
Later.
All right. Well, let's finish up some of the questions we got here. It's got some great questions from the community. And of course, if there's anything that you want answered from Justin and Marty, well, we can either re-ask them next week or we can get them to follow up on in our Discord where the questions were asked. That's where all our questions came from, with Discord this week. So Solo Something asked, how many of the dads on the show will be playing XC3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, or at least trying their hand at it? Jesse, are you going to be trying it or at all? Or
I am not. I tried playing the original game, on the Wii and on the 3DS, and couldn't get past a few hours. And that's at that point, I just haven't touched the rest of the franchise.
Nice.
So speaking of Xenoblade, if for those listening to it live on Twitch or YouTube, the game is out on eShop now.
Go get it. Oh, we just lost everybody. So everybody who's watching live. All right. So for me, it is if they come out with a demo, I'll probably try the demo. I'm not buying it to try it unless now Sammy, he likes the games, but he hasn't beaten any of them. He's played 1, he's played 2, I believe. But he hasn't beaten them because he says they're very long games.
Yeah, they are.
And he loses interest in them. So
I think both John and Drew, if not both, at least one of them is interested in the game.
Yeah, I think they both are for sure. I think they both are.
So if you want more information, more coverage on the game, then we will probably check out Dads After Dark next week.
I think though Solo Something, he does some of our videos as well. This is very high up on his list between him and Frosticles in our community. Both these guys are this is like their game of the year they've been waiting for. So if you want anybody's advice on these games, it's probably those two people. So if we can get those two together in a room to talk about this in a video, I think we should get that going. So you two need to talk about that. But for me, I would love to be able to try my hand at it. I'm very interested in the stories. The animation has me interested in it as well. What has me turned off is how long those games are. And you know how long it took me to beat The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 5+ years to beat that game. So
and we have 3 Persona games coming out within the next year.
Yeah,
year and a half.
There's Persona games I'm interested in. There's still the Breath of the Wild 2 coming out, and there's all this stuff, and it's there on my list to get. I do own Xenoblade 1. I can't remember if I own Xenoblade 2 or not. I have to look on my shelf. Because I think I do, because that's why Sammy's playing it, unless he bought it digitally. And I actually like the way Xenoblade Chronicles 3 looks and plays from what I saw in the videos compared to the first two. And it even has me more interested in it because of how it looks and looks like it plays. But again, I don't want to I don't want to say waste, but I don't want to just pay $60 for a game I try and then sits on my shelf forever. So
I don't remember who sent the tweet, but I saw a tweet the other day, and I'll reword it just because it's as is. It isn't show friendly,
okay.
but he goes, "This is for the
I know
people
where
who
you're
are
going with this.
for people who are asking which Xenoblade game I should play." But my answer is this: if you want to play it for the story, play Xenoblade 1. If you want to play it for the combat, play Xenoblade 3. If you want to play it for the waifu, Xenoblade 2.
I like how you clean that up.
Thank you.
that was quite appropriate. If you want to hear the more R-rated version, that's what Dad's After Dark is for. So so yes, and I like that summary. Story, play the story. If you want a story, go to play 1. If you want waifus, play 2. If you want combat, play 3. So excellent idea. So, but again, solo something, great question, but I think you're the man when it comes to this game and the other Xeno Chronicle games. And if anybody has any questions between solo something and Frosticles, come join our Discord and talk to that group, those guys there, including Zablanc or John and Drew at Dad's After Dark show, because
there is a dedicated Xenoblade room in the Discord.
Yes, it's plenty of ways to play that, because we all can't be interested in everything. So, or we all can't play everything. We can be interested in a lot, but can't play everything. From what I've learned over time is I can't play everything because I won't finish them. All right, next up, 16-bit Nomad. Do any of the Nintendo dads think that Advance Wars will get released this year? Do we think it's going to be released, Jesse?
I don't know. I think when it does get released, it'll just be a shadow drop for whatever day it is. I think we'll get zero announcement. It'll either be in a direct or it'll just be a tweet. But I have unless things in the Russia and Ukraine settle down soon, which probably doesn't look like it will be if it's still going on. This probably won't be until next year. But I think there's got to be a point when Nintendo's going to say, "Screw it, we got to release this thing."
Right. And Marty was really looking forward to this too. So
yeah, it was already delayed once, and then this happened. I my guess is if it hasn't released in a year, so like April next year, they're going to say we'll drop it now because we gave them a year and we're not going to wait anymore.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I don't know. I mean, they set themselves up for the way they delayed it to not make it easy.
Of course, we have seen Nintendo sit on completed games for 20 years on the shelf. Earthbound Beginnings, Star Fox 2.
When the Nintendo Switch Classic comes out in 20 years, that'll be the exclusive game for that system. So,
oh, don't tell Marty this. I think he's going to cry.
Right. I wanted it. I was really looking forward to it as well. So, but I agree with you, Jesse. So I won't say more of that. A side question also 16-bit Nomad has is, are any of the dads going to BotCon next month in Nashville? And actually, that would have been a good question to ask Marty, since he's
in the neighborhood.
He's in the neighborhood, but considering he got COVID again, he's probably going to try to stay away from public domains or public areas for a while. So, all right, third strongest mole Sam from our Retro Logic crew asks, what arcade game do you think had a home console version that was better?
Oh, wow. In television, Burger Time.
Okay.
Going pre-NES, but I really can't think of anything else. Because if there's an NES game with it in an arcade, all of them that I can think of, the arcade's better. Like I'd rather play the arcade Donkey Kong than the NES Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that was like, oh, I'm glad I got this at home instead of
Which is half the reason why I have that arcade machine in the corner.
I see. Yeah, I can't say any of the older ones because that was the thing. You went to the arcade to play the better version, and then you companies tried to get it as close to as good as the arcade and the home version.
And with they all have hardware limitations that'll prevent it from being
Yeah.
perfect. I think the first near perfect arcade port that I've ever seen was Galaga on the NES.
Okay.
It still had to make some adjustments because of a horizontal screen versus a vertical screen,
Yes.
but I think that's the closest to arcade perfect that I've ever seen in an NES era.
I think more recently, I would say the Cruisin' game that came out for the Switch. What was that called again? Cruisin' Blast.
Yeah.
I think that was a great home console version, better than the arcade, because although I like to go to the arcade and do the sit down and stuff and get that experience, it's just being able to do it at home makes it that much better for me. So in that regard. So but that is a tough question, Sam. Speaking of
I
Sam,
don't think there's many good answers to that question.
yeah, that's a hard one. I wonder, Sam, if you have any, let us know because I'm curious what you think. I don't know if he's here watching or not. Too
And
sometimes he is.
of course, you know nowadays you'll get arcade perfect emulation on a Switch because they can do that. Like like Arcade Archives, and there's a whole other groups making those type of conversions.
Yeah. And speaking of Sam, my son Sam says hi to all the Nintendo dads, and I forgot to mention it earlier while Marty was here, but Sam says hi. He hasn't said hi in a long time. He wanted to hang out actually, and I told him he can come hang out during the dinner table, not during the show because he'd be too distracting.
Yeah.
So, all right. Then Dan Retrologic, also from obviously the Retrologic show, asked, "How many bananas does Donkey Kong weigh?"
Yes.
Good answer. Twice Mike asks, what are the dad's true feelings on emulation, including recent games, not just retro games? Wii U, for example. Best way to play Breath of the Wild is on the Wii U emulator.
This actually brings up a topic that I was going to talk about during my what I've been playing, but because I knew this question was coming, I thought I'd wait.
Oh, okay.
But so yeah, so basically is if the game can be easily available, easily acquirable, then don't emulate it. Buy it, the play it the way it was meant to be played. But once a system loses its support, like 3DS and Wii U is going to lose its eShops in next March, or at the end of this fiscal year, then I say it's open season. If they're not willing to sell you games anymore, have at it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there.
So someone in the Discord says, I just recently modded my 3DS and it's the best thing I ever did. Who else has done this? And I'm like, I probably will when the eShop loses its support. But then on the other hand, I don't want to mod my current 3DS, which is the SNES design model. That's pretty rare nowadays.
Yes.
So I said I'll have to look into getting a separate 3DS to mod later. And then I'm like, okay, if I'm going to get a second 3DS, I should start looking sooner than later because the prices are only going to go up.
Get it now.
And then, okay, this is hashtag not sponsored, but I've seen other this website sponsoring other shows, but I signed up for an account on Sendico, which is basically like a shopping proxy site for Japanese storefronts, including the Japan Yahoo auctions and other pretty significant shopping sites in Japan. So I set up an account. I gave them about $200. So I loaded up my account with 25,000 yen, and I found a 3DS that I put a bid on for 12,500 yen. And then, so they take 500 yen out of my wallet as their service fee for placing the bid. So basically, careful what you bid for, because every bid you do costs you $4.50 or $4.25, whatever the exchange rate is. So if I were to find it, pretty much any 3DS in North America, I'd probably be spending $300 to $400. The auction I won, that 12,500 yen, it works out to be about $91. So I got a 3DS for under $100.
Nice.
So I still had additional money in my account because I still, I put $200 worth of yen in that account. So
Right.
I then found 2 audio CDs of Dragon Quest symphonic music. One disc is Dragon Quest 1 and 2, another disc is Dragon Quest 3. So, and I won those auctions. So what I'm waiting for it now. Okay, Mecha Dragon says it'll all be in Japanese though. Yeah, but then I'll mod it, and then it won't be. So it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway,
Yep.
so what basically the way the site works is, when the seller ships the item, it'll go to the Sendico warehouse, and they'll hold on to the item for up to 60 days. So when they have all 3 of my items, then I'll tell them, put these into a parcel and then ship it to me. And then at that point, I'll pay whatever the shipping cost is for the one package with the 3 items, as opposed to paying international shipping for each item separately if I bought these directly and they had North American shipping.
Nice.
So that's kind of my answer formulation, and I was able to wrap this story in with it. So I know the Sendico warehouse already has the 3DS. I'm waiting for them to receive the audio CDs. And once they have all 3, then I'll process the shipping, and who knows how long it'll take for that to happen.
Yep. And you shared the information again in our Discord. So if anybody's looking for that, that's where it is. And I did pin it too. So
I saw that
to
you
that
pinned
board.
that.
So in case anybody is looking for it, wants more information on where to go for that, that's where it is. All right, cool. And I want to mod one too, but not my own, because I have the Metroid, the Samus Metroid 3DS that I do not want to mod. I want to keep it the way it is. So I do have another 3DS though that Sammy used to use that I'm going to probably mod. I'll use that one to mod. So.
And then the 3DS I got is, I wanted to get since I'm going to buy one from Japan, I wanted to get a color that wasn't available here. So the one I got is pink on the outside.
Yes.
And then open it up, it's white on the inside. I don't think we had a pink 3DS, did we?
Not that pink.
Not that pink. All right, so when it comes in, I'll show it on the YouTube show version of the show.
Nice. Yeah, so be on the lookout for that one.
And then I might put some Dragon Quest audio on my soundboard.
Nice. Cool. And you should do like what you did with the when you were putting the arcade together. Like if you start working on modding it or something like that, do like quick videos of those, or even stream it while you're doing, or work on it while you're doing dinner table. We'll talk about it there.
That might be a thing, but yeah, I don't think it'll make a very interesting video because, unless I had a capture card for a 3DS, then maybe, but
that's true.
I don't think I'm wanting to do that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, again, maybe that's something you can work on while we're doing the dinner table. So, all right.
Yeah,
excellent.
Apparently, my son did mod his 3DS, and if he can do it, anyone can do it. Because.
All right then. Hopefully, Link isn't listening. So, all right.
Oh no, he's not.
All right. Great questions, everybody. Again, if you have any questions, you can send them in to us via our Discord, or the Patreon updates we send out, or to our email at nintendodads@gmail.com. Or again, you can send them to our voicemails. Don't forget, we have a voicemail system. we have a poor lady sitting out there waiting to answer your call and take your voicemail and message. 929-25 NDADS or 929-256-3237. So remember, voicemails, we'd like to hear your voice and not just from the same people. So anyways.
All End Podcast has a question for you.
Okay.
I just had a thought, and I can't believe I ever pieced this together. Is Sammy named after Samus?
No, Samuel is named after a character. I think my wife said in a Stephen King book, I want to say. I just don't remember exactly which one. So I wish I could have just lied and said sure, but but I didn't want to do that. So sure, yeah, Samuel Jackson. Yes, he was named after Samuel Jackson. All right. Thanks again. Like I said, thanks again for the questions. Let's move on to a summary of some of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. We have Game Pass news that's going to be dropping episode 62, or they did drop 62, but they will be dropping 63 soon. Let's see, 62, they talk about Ubisoft, Skull and Bones, RoboCop and Terminator games, Sam Barlow's immortality delayed. I don't know what that means, and then of course they go over a lot of the Game Pass games that are released over time and kind of give you guys a good look at what you should be investing your time in.
Which reminds me, I should log in and check, because they normally have like games with gold early in the month and at the end of the month. I haven't checked in the last few weeks, so I should do that.
Game Pass news, they did drop a tweet about that as well, linking to the Xbox news article about it. So check that out there. So if you're on Twitter, give them a follow as well. So Dads After Dark show, they released sorry, I'm thrown off. I thought I updated these, but I forgot I updated it in our podcast, our Patreon page, and forgot to update them here.
Oops.
So I'm going to go off of memory here. Dads After Dark show, they did a special drop of their latest episode, which was about Stray. And I was a guest on that episode along with Hambo and Johnny, and we talked about the game Stray. It's a very spoiler heavy episode. So if you're playing it and you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen to that yet, but go check it out after you're done with the game. It'd be cool if you took the time to check it out. And then Retro Logic, they have 3 podcasts going. Their own Retro Logic show where episode 84 dropped, where they talk about the Nintendo Entertainment System. Episode 10 of On Topic Retro recently dropped, and that was with All In's Eric. And they talked about Super Bomberman. And then Retro Groove, they didn't do any recent episodes, but they will be starting season 2 on July 28th, I want to say. So I apologize if I got those dates wrong, but listen to those guys. Retro Groove, they talk about music and stuff. And they took a summer break, and now they're going to be doing season 2 at the end of July here. So go check them out.
All In Podcast says Sam Barlow is the creator of Her Story.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thanks, Seth. That was awesome. Thanks for that update. All right. That's a quick summary of all our Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. Again, go check them out. You can go to any of your podcast feeds and look for Retro Logic, On Topic Retro, Retro Groove, Dads After Dark show, Game Pass News, all of those guys doing their shows. And if you're interested in doing a show, come talk to us, especially if you're in our community. We are always looking for new ways to help people do a show. So, all right.
And the show is not 4 hours long.
And yes, this show is not 4 hours long. We actually did pretty good in keeping it short, because now we're ready to close. I think that was pretty good. And we want to say welcome back to Marty, even though he left early. Thanks for coming back on, Marty. Hope everybody enjoyed that. Let's close out the show. thank you to all our YouTube subscribers. That's over 6,000. That's 6,300 subscribers. Keep them coming, everybody. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Let them know there's a Nintendo Dad's Disc podcast out there that talks about a lot of their favorite games and maybe some games that they never heard of. So we have over 1,300 followers on Twitch, along with 16 Twitch subscribers. Thank you all for taking the time to subscribe to us either on Twitch or on YouTube or even on our Patreon. Thank you. And a huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger, Solo Something, Alexander Ocampo, RJ Kern, and Chad Benoist. Check out our merch store via nintendodads.org/merch. And also, just while you're there at nintendodads.org, check out everything we got going on there on our website. We've got links to our YouTube videos, our tweets, our podcast episodes, social medias, and some of our blog postings and some of the things that we're into. We probably need to refresh that pretty soon of some of the things we like and shared with you guys on our favorite things list or page and our About Us page. But go check it out. And then, again, like I mentioned earlier, if you have anything you want to send to us, you can send it via Twitter, Discord, nintendodads@gmail.com, or via our voicemail at 92925-NDADS or 929-256-3237. Again, we'd like to hear your voices, so give us stuff to talk about. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music throughout the show. Download from your favorite podcast app of choice like CastBox, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcast, or Spotify. And leave a review if you can, too. It helps promote the show to other people, especially the more 5-star reviews we get or the more thumbs up we get. And depending on where you're at, the more our show gets pushed up the rankings. So thank you again for everybody for listening. For me, Jesse, and Marty, and Justin. We'll check you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.